Hello, this is World University and Schools News and Question and Answer on Monday, March 10th, 2025 at 10 a.m. Eastern Time. Sorry, Pacific Time. I think it's 1 p.m. Eastern Time. I think it's 6 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time in Western Europe. And it's 10:30 p.m., I think, in India. If you would like to join this MIT Open Courseware Centric Wiki World University and School, please do so. You'll find access to the Zoom meeting posted on Twitter and LinkedIn in today's blog posts for World University and School. worlduniversityandschool.blogspot.com and scott-mccloud.blogspot.com. So I'm in Lake County right now, which is near my ethnographic and STEM field site, Harbin Hot Springs, and in seeking to create a realistic virtual Harbin Hot Springs for ethnographic research, as well as from that, potentially a realistic virtual Earth for STEM classrooms, for STEM field sites, classrooms, and potentially not only at the Google Street View level with time slider, but at the G cell view level and the G molecule view level, and a realistic virtual Earth for everything, including evolution. Check out today's Twitter posts on how to create a realistic virtual Earth for cells. Cells go back approximately 3.5 billion years in all 3 to 100 million species. One recent estimate of number of species on the planet is 8.7 million species on the planet. And cells have informed all of these, replicating through time for 3.5 billion years. So a realistic virtual Earth and a realistic virtual Harbin hot springs for further ethnographic and STEM and STEAM research is a key part of MIT OpenCourseWare centric wiki World University and Schools development. A realistic virtual Earth will also be very helpful for laboratories for students in all 200 countries studying from home for free. MIT OpenCourseWare centric wiki World University and School degrees, both undergraduate and graduate, possibly last 3 years of high school as well. Bachelor, PhD, law, medicine, IB high school, AA, master's degrees are all planned in each of all 200 countries and in their main and official languages, seeking with parallels to the Olympics, which has about 200 countries, students who might be interested in this remarkable opportunity of free online MIT OpenCourseWare centric WUAS degrees from home. Stay tuned. So today's World University and School News and Question and Answer. Further, so uh, check out last week's March 3rd, 2025, WUS News and Question and Answer regarding also a realistic virtual Earth for CRISPR, the gene editing technologies, and for gene editing, and also regarding language revitalization and with AI and ML, and at hashtag all languages WUAS. Hashtag refers to Twitter hashtags, a way to uh, click on a hashtag and thus get to um, related posts with that hashtag. So a way of thematizing um, Twitter posts in many ways. And World University in Schools seeks to be in all 7,164 known living languages for language revitalization for the smallest languages, as well as in extinct languages as well. So agenda item 1. This is also regarding building out World University in School in many languages, and particularly in the countries with the languages that are quite widespread in the world. So a set of tweets in these regards. After hashtag English WUAS at World University and School begins, how best at hashtag free to students, hashtag MIT OCW, centric wiki, hashtag WUASUNIVS, to grow, hashtag Hindi WUAS. In 22, in India, WUAS, in 22 scheduled languages beyond Hindi in India, and hashtag Spanish WUAS in 20 countries out of 200 countries, and hashtag French WUAS in 29 countries out of about 200 countries in the world, and in hashtag Arabic WUAS in 22 countries out of about 200 countries in the world, and hashtag Chinese WUAS in 5 countries out of 200, with hashtag Grow with Google WUAS. So this is seeking to not only build out World University in School for free degrees in each of these 5 or so large languages, Hindi, Spanish, French, Arabic, and Chinese, but also to build out the WUAS Press in 7,164 known living languages with machine translation too, and the physical digital WUAS educational services stores in these countries where these large languages are. So how to do this potentially with hashtag Grow with Google WUAS. And in these regards, this morning on Twitter, there was a Google post about Guatemala Guatemala and developing AI and machine learning communities there, which could well have come into conversation with this WS News and Question and Answer for March 10th, 2025, which I emailed out yesterday, about 12 hours before today's 10 a.m. Pacific time, World University and School News and Question and Answer. So it's that communication potentially further with Grow with Google, WUAS, and also emerging out of MIT OpenCourseware's 5 languages, which include Chinese and Spanish, that will be the next steps for World University and School moving forward. Agenda item 2, how best at World Univ and SCH, so this is a set of tweets again, to create what's great about universities, such as hashtag accessible savants, learned and talented faculty, talks, conferencing, collegiality, community, and new hashtag WUAS wiki, hashtag knowledge generation in all 200 countries and in main languages for all, and hashtag from home, a hashtag realistic virtual earth with hashtag Gemini AI teachers. So Gemini AI conversational generative artificial intelligence teachers may well help. And this retweets a tweet I posted last summer or 2 summers ago, when I took a trip to Canada and to Quebec, French-speaking Canada, and regarding Canada World University and School too, where both English and French are official languages. And for free online hashtag MIT OCW centric hashtag and hashtag Google WUAS, hashtag WUS degrees, and regarding most beautiful hashtag French speaking hashtag Quebec City, Canada, CA, hashtag UNESCO World Heritage Site, hashtag Dafont Rédo, hashtag Chateau Frontenac, and regarding the UNESCO World Heritage Site of Quebec City, and in hashtag wiki, hashtag realistic virtual earth. So there are 4 pictures here from Quebec City and regarding some of these buildings and the UNESCO World Heritage Site, and how further to build out, for example, in French, WUAS, the French language, which is in 29 out of about 200 countries. For example, in Canada and regarding Quebec and French-speaking Canada, and even with UNESCO World Heritage Sites as possible field sites too, which they have been for me. In a first tourism studies paper I wrote back around 2006 or so on UNESCO World Heritage Sites in the Middle East and online, as well as on UNESCO World Heritage Sites in Paris. I studied UNESCO World Heritage Sites as field sites. How could these, in an iterating, emerging, realistic virtual earth, help facilitate the growth of French World University and School in French, and also Spanish World University and School, where in 200 countries, where where UNESCO World Heritage Sites are in those 20 countries, and potentially Arabic and Chinese, and as field sites for further study, both of language and of and in developing these countries for what's great about universities, accessible savants, talks, conferencing, collegiality, community, and new wiki knowledge generation in all 200 countries and in main languages, and for all from home, and potentially with a realistic virtual earth and Gemini AI teachers. So agenda item 3. So I'm sitting in a new 2025 Toyota Sienna Woodland Edition minivan and interested in developing it further for research. And there's a multimedia package on the roof in back of the skylight. I'm going to try to flip this around to show the multimedia package. Hang on a second. Um, so this is a view of my Toyota Sienna Woodland Edition from the inside, and the screen on the top, which I just flipped down from the multimedia package, is something I would like to add the internet to and add the ability to watch YouTube videos from. Uh, and that's not configured yet. And I would like to further configure that and potentially for Harbin Hot Springs research too. And for many other scientific and STEM and related research projects that I have planned. So how to do so? I've reached out to Toyota Palo Alto and Toyota technicians, potentially through them, and also to Peter Norvig, head of Google AI. So a set of tweets in these regards. How to access, one, the internet, and for example, two, YouTube on Toyota Sienna's hashtag Sienna multimedia package screen in the center of the roof behind the skylight with, for example, hashtag Grateful Dead 1968 with light show. And for example, with hashtag onsen bathing VR. So hot springs bathing VR. Onsen being the Japanese word for hot springs. And regarding a relatively new development in YouTube technologies of seems tiltable in digital glasses, YouTube technology for viewing a hot springs in Japan that moves interactively as one moves one's smartphone. And in a digital mask would be very interesting, informing a realistic virtual Harbin Hot Springs and a realistic virtual Earth. And this would be for a realistic virtual Harbin, hashtag realistic virtual Harbin. And check out the blog post from March of 2025, California Milkwort, Breakthrough 2. I hope that we can build out a realistic virtual Earth for viewing from or interacting with from home in such iterating YouTube technologies too, as interactive YouTube viewing with, it seems, tiltable YouTube in this YouTube video, which ends with DUI. I think I could hear driving under the influence. It's a fascinating example of a relatively recent development in YouTube information technologies. Agenda item 4 is regarding the Princeton University Flywire Connectome project of citizen science, also modeling a Drosophila brain with or at the neuron level. So they've completely created, in a sense, a wiring diagram of the Drosophila fly brain using from a connectome as a connectome, a new way of even understanding the brain. And they've done this partly with Princeton University researchers and also with citizen scientists who have contributed to proofreading the neuron cells and help to create new approaches to modeling brains via connectomes, and with regard particularly to the flywire connectome, this Drosophila fly brains. So how to add this to even a realistic virtual Earth, and think Google Street View with Time Slider, Google Maps, Google Earth, and at the Google cell view level for neurons, fly brain, Drosophila fly brain neurons. So a set of tweets in these regards. How best to add hashtag flywire connectome, hashtag Drosophila fly brain, 100,000 neurons proofread in Bank, B-A-N-C. That's where the Flywire Connectome project is storing the neurons that they have modeled, storing as data, in a sense, the neurons they've modeled. Check out the video. And this is by hashtag citizen scientist, NSeraf, N-S-E-R-A-F. This is on Twitter. And how best to add the Flywire Connectome to a hashtag citizen science, hashtag realistic virtual Earth, hashtag for cells, hashtag for molecules, hashtag G Street View, with hashtag G Time Slider, hashtag G Cells, hashtag G Molecules, and hashtag G Pegman, where Pegman in Google Street View with Time Slider, the little avatar in the bottom left corner at this time, might become even an avatar agent electronic health record for a Drosophila fly and for a Drosophila fly brain, so that it becomes interoperable. This Flywire Connectome Drosophila fly brain connectome project becomes interoperable with Google Street View with Time Slider, Google Cell View, and even for electronic health records, that as avatars, all the imaging that's gone on of the Drosophila brain is what avatar refers to, integrating all that. An agent in avatar agent electronic health record refers to, for me, all the AI and machine learning that we might add and code in this possible Google Pegman as avatar agent electronic health record for the Flywire Connectome, the Drosophila fly brain. So agenda item 5, this is regarding Scotland World University and School, but also coming into conversation with Gemini AI, conversational generative artificial intelligence, regarding how best might Scots in Scotland gain hashtag Scottish independence or sovereignty today in 2025 or beyond. And hashtag Gemini AR, RE Scotland, a new hashtag connecting Gemini with Scotland. Hashtag Gemini AR Ray Scotland says, Gemini AI responded to this question with suggesting examining the political landscape, examining public opinion, examining legal and constitutional issues, examining international relations, and for Scots to further develop communication and campaigning. Gemini AI's response is fascinating and more extensive than those section headings of its reply. Check it out. Interesting to see how Scots on the ground might come into conversation with this in new ways. Glad to have heard back from former Scottish First Minister Nicola Sturgeon last night in an auto reply to my emailing about this WUS news and question and answer for Monday, March 10th, 2025, and possibly in some of these regards. I think the thinking about Scottish independence is continuing and going and moving forward, and this is one tiny contribution possibly to that conversation further. So moving to the other wing of World University and School, the WUS Corporation, the second of two WUS wings, a for-profit general stock company legal entity in the state of California. And regarding the WUAS academic press in 7,164 known living languages with machine learning and machine translation, as well as the WUAS educational services stores for books, computers, robotics, hospital technologies, groceries, both physical and digital, planned in 200 countries. Following up on a communication thread with Chase Bank, and that started in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. This email thread on Monday, December 11th, 2023, with an email from Tuesday, March 4th, 2025, and regarding having participated in curated coaching, the acceleration project TAP sessions affiliated with JP Morgan Chase Bank, and having signed up after a many-month hiatus for another curated coaching TAP, the acceleration project session, which was then canceled. I was invited to by Doreen Hendley, and where the invitation came to the WUAS CEO, WUAS _CEO at worlduniversityandschool.org, an email address that I continue to check in, although we would like to eventually find a CEO with much experience and knowledge for the WUS Corporation, WUS Educational Services Stores, WUS Academic Press. So this email also refers to a credit card that I got newly issued on September 16th, 2024, which has become inactive twice and is still inactive, possibly in order to protect, for example, myself from possibly JP Morgan Chase Bank and employees and affiliates who could conceivably be involved in international organized crime, tragically. So here's the email I sent recently to the JP Morgan Chase Bank CEO, Jamie Dimon, and Doreen Hendley, who's an organizer at the Acceleration Project TAP, and the Chase Bank executive credit card team. So, dear Doreen Hendley, in collaboration with JP Morgan Chase, and curated coaching at the Acceleration Project, Janelle at Chase Credit Card Executive Office and team, JP Morgan Chase Bank CEO Jamie Dimon, JP Morgan Chase Bank's internal security internationally, Chase Bank Shadyside Pittsburgh VP Shauna McNally, Peter Norvig, Google AI, and U.S. Senator and former Harvard Law professor Elizabeth Warren, Lieutenant John Tadler, having attended a FBI workshop in 2013 from Pittsburgh, attorney Sean Flaherty in Pittsburgh, PA, and Chase Bank curated coaching TAP first consultant for WUAS, Jenny Ling, I think on December 8th, 2023, all. Greetings, and I hope this finds you well. Thanks, Doreen Hendley, for making it possible for me at WUAS_CEO at worlduniversityandschool.org to register for another The Acceleration Project TAP session this Wednesday, March 5th, 2025. But the conversation I just learned has been canceled. I continue to have concerns about the murder word mentioned in Chase Bank Shadyside, Pittsburgh, PA's by Chase Bank Shadyside, Pittsburgh, PA's VP, Shauna McNally, in March of 2023 in that bank, and even regarding Chase Banks and international organized crime in some of the 100 countries out of about 200 countries where Chase Bank has operations. But registered for this, the Acceleration Project TAP session, a follow-up conversation, branding follow-up conversation on March 5th, 2025, which again was just canceled after that. Janelle at Chase Credit Card Executive Office and team, my Chase Bank Freedom Flex MasterCard credit card continues to be inactive, and I continue to not be able, therefore, for example, to file the Statement of Information, SI 100, electronic card with the state of California's FTB, California Biz File Online, for the WUAS Corporation, which is 501c3 tax-exempt MIT OCW-centric Wiki World University and Schools. And the URL for that with the tax ID numbers at the bottom are worlduniversityandschool.org, which is 501c3 tax-exempt MIT OCW-centric Wiki World University and Schools, WUS's second wing, and which is a for-profit general stock company in the state of California legal entity. And the URL for that is worlduniversityandschool.org/academicpress.html with the tax ID number for this state of California legal entity for the WS Corporation at the bottom of that web page. And so, again, see the tax ID numbers at the bottom of each of these WUS websites. Please advise how best to reactivate my Chase Bank Freedom Flex MasterCard credit card so that I can file, for example, the Statement of Information SI 100 for the WUS Corporation with the state of California. Thanks, abolitionally, staying alive, best, Scott Gordon K. McLeod. And check out the Russian River blog post at worlduniversityandschool.blogspot.com in March of 2025. And I also include the business plan for MIT OCW-centric Wiki World University and School WUS educational services stores for books, computers, robotics, groceries, for a startup business from 2024 in a Google Docs link, and which in many ways was the focus of many the Acceleration Project TAP curated coaching sessions from December 11th, 2023, and into the first month of 2024. So agenda item, and you can find this email also in the Green Heron Butarides Virensens blog post in my blog, scott-mcleod.blogspot.com from March of 2025. Agenda item B, and This is regarding the tax ID numbers and looking them up, or looking up the names of these legal entities in both, for example, the WUS Corporation in the state of California's BizFile online to see the WS Corporation active status. And regarding the WS Press in 7,164 known living languages with machine translation too, and the physical digital WS Educational Services stores plus at worlduniversityandschool.org/academicpress.html. So agenda item B2 on the WS Corporation, WS Press side, and search on to World University and School in the state of California's BizFile online to see the state of California's active status for World University and School. That's a tax-exempt second legal entity for World University and School, which parallels the 501c3 status for World University and School at the US federal level that World University and School has. So agenda item B3, check out, search on World University and School in guidestar.org/search, and to see World University and School's 501c3 similar active status in GuideStar with our GuideStar page profile, which is /27-3105368. So that's the WS News and question and answer for today. And I don't see anyone seeking to join us at this time. I'll post today's WS News and question and answer for March 10th, 2025 to the active main YouTube channel, youtube.com/Scott McLeod World University, as well as post it to the recording URL to Twitter at twitter.com/WORLDUNIVANDSCH, twitter.com/WUAS Press, and also to LinkedIn, world-university-and-school is one of the LinkedIn profiles. I'll post today's recording of 3/10/2025 WS News and question and answer. Until next week, March 17th, 2025, come into conversation, ask questions, share your thoughts about World University and School, about growing with MIT OCW in 5 languages, and growing with Google WUS on Twitter or LinkedIn. Bye for now. Till next week.